So, is this game made for 5-year-olds, or...?
It was made for people like us.
What is that?
I don't know.
1 ton. Is that what that's supposed to be?
It's like a, an anvil, maybe? Is my guess, maybe? Ouch.
It doesn't look like an anvil.
It said 1 ton, though.
Yeah. It's... Da-da-da-da-da.
Where do I go?
Down. See that platform's going on? The game gave you a context clue.
That was very nice of them.
It was better than McKids with Leaps of Faith.
Yep.
Or no.
I don't like Leaps of Faith.
Maybe that was Super Empire Strikes Back.
We didn't
the
play
Super Nintendo.
Oh.
I know we didn't play it clearly because we would lose our fucking shit. You ever played it?
No, I haven't, actually.
It's a goddamn mess.
I played Super Return of the Jedi, and that one was hard enough for me.
Wait, maybe... Which was the one where they started on Hoth?
That was Super Empire Strikes Back.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was a goddamn disaster.
Oh, God. Another carrot. Sweet.
One of the few games I played on the SNES, and I'm like, why would anyone want this system? Because I thought that, at the time, that's what all the... I thought that's what all the games were.
Because that's what all the games are.
Well, I didn't know. I had a Genesis. I'm like, this game looks like shit, and it's hard as fuck. I'm like, why would anyone want a Super Nintendo?
Because it's awesome.
It is good. I admit. Have we ever talked about that? Whether we were Genesis or Super Nintendo kids?
I'm not sure, but I was definitely a Super Nintendo kid.
As you were. I was a Genesis kid.
Yeah, I know you were. You were my mortal enemy.
Back when the console war was real.
I wouldn't.
For the most part.
Yeah. Well, there was like it was. Okay.
With the exception of a few like crossover titles, like Mortal Kombat. But even then, there were still major differences between them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say like the fighting games there wasn't like major differences, but you had games like
it wasn't Mortal Kombat, I'll tell you that.
No, but one that comes to mind, like have you ever played Adventures of Batman and Robin?
No.
For Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, it was like 2 completely different games.
Really? Mm-hmm. Why would they do that?
Just because they wanted to make it independent games, I guess.
Well, I know in Mortal Kombat. Nice job. I know in Mortal Kombat there was no blood code on the Super Nintendo.
No, there was not. That was Nintendo.
Being douche.
They didn't want blood.
Couldn't you get green blood?
No.
I thought there was a thing you could get blood, but it was like green.
That was the Sega Genesis. You could change the color of the blood.
Oh, that's right. I loved the blood code. That was hilarious. And I think, to me, it looked better on the Genesis.
Oh, God.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Mortal Kombat looked better on the Genesis.
You're wrong.
Think so?
Yeah.
But I know Street Fighter... Wasn't Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo as well?
It was. It was much better on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that I'll agree with. So it's like there were fair trade-offs, but I know it's always funny because people think like the Super Nintendo like had like
Come on now. Okay.
Super Nintendo had a lot of really, really good it's fun.
Elmer Fudd.
A lot of the Super Nintendo had a lot of really good RPGs. Clearly, I mean, it had Jesus Christ, some of the most iconic games, RPGs in history. I mean, you had Final Fantasy II, Final Fantasy III, 4 and 6. You had Chrono Trigger. You had
Super Mario RPG.
Mario RPG. Yeah. You had the Breath of Fire 1 and 2, and so it had some really major
Secret of Evermore, Secret of Mana.
Yeah, even. And then it's like they think the Genesis had nothing, and that's completely untrue.
No, it didn't. It had the Phantasy Star series.
Yeah.
Beyond Oasis.
Phantasy Star series was really only good at 2 and 4.
Oh well.
3 was
Shining Force.
Shining Force 1 and 2 were Shining in the Darkness was really, really good.
Was Shining in the Darkness? That wasn't Sega Genesis, was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember that because when I was younger, do you remember when Funko Land was still a thing?
Hell yeah, Funko Land.
I bought
Miss Funko Land.
They had Shining in the Darkness in one of the kiosks that you could play, the little test thing, and I'm like, I want this fucking game. Like, I love this. This is me. Ironically, I didn't beat it till I was in my 20s, but I got it. I bought. My dad's like, all right, finally, we'll get it for you. I got it. I brought it home. Turned out to be East 3. It was really funny.
Wait, what?
It was
the game that you had been playing was Ease 3?
No, it's just that someone had swapped the labels out on the cartridges.
Oh no! What they did was they cracked open the back of it and put the
Oh, that could be.
Yeah, they put the chip, the motherboard, in another game because I've heard about stories about like kids doing that with Nintendo games, where somebody rented a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, and what they did was they opened up the back of their Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt cart, switched the
oh my god,
switched the chips in there, so that the next person rented TMNT3, it was Super Mario Brothers.
I suppose a way of taking a cheap title and,
or one
and
that
giving yourself,
or one that you've already had and played.
Oh, that's right. I can't use my hammer when I'm starry.
Yeah. It was just a cheap way of basically buying a new game.
Yeah, pretty much. It was kind of underhanded.
You couldn't.
It's stealing, but
yeah, it is stealing. But as kids, I mean, you really couldn't. $50 nowadays, we think, oh well, of course the game's coming out. It's $50. Yeah, I'll pick it up when it comes out. And back then, you didn't have $50. You had to save up for weeks or months even.
Yeah.
So, and some kids too, when you grow up, when you were a kid, you only got games for like the big events, like your birthday parties or Christmas, things like that.
Jesus.
It just you didn't have the chance or the choice to buy whatever you wanted.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
So you had to have ingenuity.
Or have you done it?
No.
You were a good boy.
I wasn't that smart. Like I wasn't that smart enough to figure that out, though.
Yeah,
I never would have thought about
it.
that.
It never crossed my mind.
Nope,
to pull
never.
that move off. That's because we're good kids. No fuck.
Sure.
But so it ended up being East Wanderers 3 or something like that. It was really.
So were
fun.
you really disappointed, or did you end up?
Well, we ended up bringing it back, and I ended up. They were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Oh yeah, because they didn't know that you had cheated.
I mean, come on, how could you not know? They test their games.
You sure?
Well, maybe they didn't back then.
So.
Who knows?
Or maybe somebody didn't even know the difference. They just turned it on, see that it fires up, and then turned it off.
Yeah, because all you have to do really is see the Sega screen, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Fuck, I ran right into it.
Yes, you did. You wanted to run right into that.
Yeah, I did. Oh, that's right. There's a boss.
Sweet. Oh, look at that. It's not a boss.
That's hard.
I wonder if you could actually take out Daffy.
Yeah.
You should try and take him out. See if you get bonuses.
When I have more life. But so that was Shining the Darkness was a lot of fun. Crusader of Senti, which is an expensive ass fucking game for the Genesis.
Yes, it is the most expensive.
It's really good too.
Yeah.
It was reminiscent of. It was essentially Genesis's Link to the Past.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It was really but Beyond Oasis.
Beyond Oasis was
very
kind
good.
of Sega Genesis's version to Secret of Mana. It seemed like.
Yeah, in a way. Mm-hmm. That one was very good. So it's like people always say there's never anything good on Genesis RPG wise, and it's completely untrue.
No.
Yeah.
I think honestly, like you were either a Sega Genesis kid or a Super Nintendo kid.
Oh, definitely.
You were one or the other, but.
And you were dedicated to your system.
Yeah, but people think like, oh yeah, one was better than the other. No, they really weren't. I mean, they were. Like, of course, me being a Super Nintendo kid, I'm gonna always think that Nintendo and Super Nintendo products were better, but you can't take away the good stuff that was on the system.
Oh no!
Like, Sega still had Castlevania Bloodlines.
Yeah, that's a very good game.
Still had some other things. Gunstar Heroes, even.
Ooh, that's right.
Gunstar Heroes.
How could I forget about that?
Yeah, Gunstar Heroes was a fantastic game.
Oh yeah, that was very good.
So I mean, just because you sided with one of them doesn't mean you can't appreciate the good stuff that's on the other.
I think people had. Our kid, like when we were kids, we were dedicated to our system, but we always had a curiosity of the other. You know what I mean? Like you were always wondering, like, oh, I'm a Genesis kid, but I don't mind seeing what's on the Super Nintendo. You know what I mean? Fuck, a little bi-curious.